All right, so here, Personal Computer Retail Company sells five different computer models through three stores. The inventory of each model on hand in each store is summarized in matrix M. So we have this. And the wholesale W and retail R. Okay, wholesale retail is shown in the matrix N here. Now, what is the retail value of the inventory at store 2? All right, so we want retail and store 2. So for that one, what we're going to do is for A, we're going to take store 2, which is our second row. So we're going to take 23506 times. Now, our retail is going to be this column. So that's going to be 840 and then 1800 and then 2400 and then 3300 and 4900. And we're going to say, okay, well, that's a 1 by 5 and a 5 by 1, so we should get out a 1 by 1, and so basically we're going to just get out a value. So we're going to take 2 times 840 plus 3 times that, and if we do all that multiplication as we go, we're going to get 48480. Okay, and again, we're just taking the first one times the first one, second one times the second one, third one times the third one, and adding them all together. Now, what is B? What is the wholesale value of inventory at store 3? Well, in that one, that means we're going to have to multiply the third row, 10, 4, 3, 4, 3, times, and now we want wholesale, so we need to take that times the 700, the 1400, and the 1800, and the 2700, and the 3500. And again, we're just going to multiply those together, 10 times 700, 4 times 1400, and so on until we get them all done, add them together, and when we get done, we should get 39300. Now, if either one of those has a meaningful interpretation, find the product and label its rows and columns. What do the entries represent? All right, so what do we have? So M times N is going to be what? Well, that's a 3 by 5. And this one's a 5 by 2. So that should work. And we're going to get a 3 by 2 out. Okay. And basically, what is it going to be? It's going to be the rows are going to be the stores, and the columns are going to be the wholesale and retail totals for each of those stores. Okay. Now, what about an NM? Well, that's going to be a 5 by 2 and a 3 by 5. Well, those are not equal, so this one does not exist. Okay. Now, because that's a lot of multiplying to get M times N, let's look and see what it would be if we did it in our calculator. All right, so what I've done to save time is I've gone ahead and I've plugged in A, and A is our first matrix, which is the ones with stores. And then I've plugged in also the B matrix, which is the columns with wholesale and retail and those values. And what they want us to do is take M times N. So they want us to take A times B, and so that's going to be the values. So basically here for store 1, the wholesale is going to be 33,400. And for retail, it's going to be 42,160 and so on. And so if we go back over to our table over here, we're going to get MN is equal to, and we had 33400, 42160, then we had 35,600, and then we had 48,480, and then we had 39300 and 5,700. And again, these are going to be store 1, store 2, store 3, and this is going to be our wholesale, and this is going to be our retail. And so wholesale for store 1, again, that's going to be the number of dollars. Store 1, retail. Store 2, wholesale. Store 2, retail. And if we go over here, this one, 48,480, well, guess what? That was store 2, retail, which is retail store 2. And then we had up here, this was wholesale store 3. Well, wholesale store 3 is 39,300, which is what we have here. And so basically, this one is doing every possible way to doing it. And so, it could ask you like, 6 different questions for A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on. And then it could also just only did this one here and then ask you what all the different pieces mean. Okay. All right. So that's all I have for this section. So hopefully that helps.